going to follow what the Supreme Court order did say some few months back. As it stands, barrister, the Parliament have passed the law, practically restoring it, because we hear that the law has been there for a while, but because the Supreme Court spoke against it, the Parliament is coming to make and, of course, pass it into law. What's the implication of this, barrister? And as it stands, where would that leave Uganda, even in all of this picture?
You see, when I tell you that African leaders are behind time, they are living in the Stone Age. Something people have left long ago is what they are going back to. What is our business with the military? If we truly say, yes, we want to join the modern world, modern democratic world, mention any other place where this type of nonsense is going on. Before you know it now, it will become a trend in Africa. Every country now, they will now shift our court to the military barracks. I said, before you know it now, all other, especially where dictators are looking for what to do, they will copy this in Uganda now, and it will become the norm. What is wrong with our court trying cases?
Barrister, I was going to ask you that. What's the implication of this decision? Warring, because this is practically a war of power. If the Supreme Court have decided that this shouldn't be done, the Parliament is going against it. Where does that leave the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land?
That will tell you.
Such a country.
Yeah, that will tell you that in Africa, you are just trying to copy democracy. You are not cut out for democratic. No, you are not. You just want to say, yes, you belong. Go. Meanwhile, you don't belong. The Western world will be laughing at you now. Because they will be asking themselves, what are these people actually doing? Is it this democracy we are practicing or another thing? A Supreme Court, I can't imagine that happen in America, as powerful as they are, as powerful as their president are, they cannot disobey court order. You know this Donald Trump and his deportation principle and all that. The Supreme Court halted it. The Supreme Court told him, stop this thing you are doing, and he stopped it. Here, a dictator, even a normal president in Africa, do they obey court order? Not, do they obey Supreme Court order, not to talk of lower courts? That will tell you where we are heading to. David, we are heading to the rocks. And that we are going to hit it one day.
Now, Barrister, interestingly, this particular law of trying civilians in military court has been on in Uganda for 2 decades, practically. But it was halted by the Supreme Court. And the lawmakers at this point have passed it again to become law. Where does that leave the judicial system of Uganda? Knowing for a fact that, of course, you know, there are also antecedents of the fact that the current president is having opposition leaders in his hands.
No, the thing is that he has you know, the man have turned into a dictator, sort of.
Is that what it is, Barrister?
Museveni has become you know, that's why they say power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. He has been long on that seat. This man have stayed too long in Uganda. So he have now, that position have now entered his head. You know, he has acquired all the powers, everything. So he can now bully anybody and anything. That's what happens when you have overstayed your welcome. The man have now assumed to be what? A god in Uganda. That is why he can cajole the legislature, the parliament to do what they are doing. You think they did it on their own? It's like this thing they are doing here in Nigeria. So you mean when parliament are acting like this, you think that they did it on their own? They deliberate? No. Go and check. Behind closed doors, all of them have been cajoled into doing it. That's what they do. At the expense of the hundreds of millions of people? The society, the government, the country and everything. In fact, at the expense of the future generation. You see what we are talking about? They don't even know the implication of what they are doing until maybe one day the thing will catch up one of them. They will start saying, we thought it will help. We thought. Are they not adults? Are they not supposed to know what is right and what is wrong? But because they have been induced to do what they are doing, they are not thinking of tomorrow. That's what we have in Africa. Leaders without vision. They are not thinking of tomorrow. I am telling you, some African leaders that are retired from office, when they sit down in their hearts and remember what they did, they will be crying. they will be crying, they will be shedding tears that they took this decision while in office. Example, Babangida and the book he read, he wrote. David, example, Babangida and the book he wrote. I can see that man crying inside his heart when he opened the man and said that Abiola won that June 12th election. But why did you annul it with all manner of excuses? Why did you?
He gave an excuse. But
look, no excuse. No excuse is tenable to truncate the will of the people. No excuse under the earth. No excuse whatever. Why is he telling it now? Why is he telling the story now? That's exactly what they do. When they're in office, they will not think of tomorrow. That's exactly how they have put all of us in trouble, one way or the other. For selfish interest, you betray a whole nation only for you to write a book and be telling us what's his name? Abiola won the election. The man is late now. No compensation, no nothing, no recognition. And you are now lamenting. All the nonsense they told us about Abiola and the election, did it come to pass? If the truth would not be revealed now, even by Humphrey Nwosu, I am telling you, these are things they don't learn. They don't learn. If African leaders are futuristic, my dear, Africa will not be where it is today. They don't think of tomorrow. They just immediate. God gave all resources. What are we doing with it? Nothing. We just carry it and give the white man.
Now Barrister, you just mentioned something quite interesting. The part of being futuristic. Interestingly, the head of military in Uganda, I'm talking about Mahuzi, did praise this particular declaration by the parliament, saying this is the way to go. Now, let's come to the path of opposition, Barrister. You will recall that Kizza Besigye, the opposition leader in the same country, Uganda, was repatriated from Kenya to Uganda, and of course he's been tried in the military court. One of the reasons why the Supreme Court as well did make that pronouncement that that particular law should be abolished. Where lies the opposition and of course the people in general in this decision made by the parliament who were elected into office, Barrister? Interestingly,
we are still asking questions. When the military are in bed with the civilian dictator, what do you expect? You just said it here and that the military man over there is telling you that this is the way to go, but he didn't give you any reason. Is it not because the military are now assuming the powers of the court? So what do you expect? Money will exchange hands. Power will exchange hands. All the perks of office that goes with it will be there. The military will not feel like a god when civilians are being tried in their barracks and all that. What does that tell you? Did they even give any reason why this should happen? That a civilian will be tried in the army barracks. Did they give you one single reason for that? No. They just say this so that they will not break your spirit, suppress you, make you fear, because you are within the confines of the military.
Is that the intent, Barrister?
Of course. Can you mess up when you are before a military man with their koboko and jackboot? Can you try anything? No. So your freedom is taken away. In fact, the mere fact that you are being tried in a military facility, it will put fear in you. You cannot even talk or express yourself properly, because whatever you say, sure, sir, or correct, sir. Do you want to talk when a military man is talking? No. Do you want to talk, or you don't know what will follow? By the time they slap you twice, your brain will reset. You now ask yourself, what is all this? Barrister,
you've been around for a while. What does this mean to democracy in that country, Uganda?
He's dead. David is dead. In fact, for a man to have overstayed his welcome in any democratic, just forget that country. There is no reason why you tell me that one man he knows everything, that is so wide, that is the one who's supposed to be in the country for over 20, 30 years. No other person except him. Tell me. So forget about, and I'm telling you, other African leaders will copy this thing. That's my fear here. Because bad example is copied easily than good example. Look at African leaders. All the good things they go and see in the Western world, did they bring them here? Did they copy them? No. But one small bad example, somewhere they bring it home. and use it as an example. African leader, you say this thing Yoweri Museveni, they will copy it. They will copy it. All this one that whenever somebody been tried, people will go to court, you know, because the courtroom is an open place. You will see, it will stop. It will stop.
So, Barrister, again, I've asked on the part of the judiciary, I've asked on the part of the legislators, where lies the path of the people who are the reason why these people are in power?
Oh,
what's their faith?
Oh, you think you matter? My dear, you don't matter in the question of things. No, you are not there. They don't even regard you as, you are as important. No.
Do you mean as it stands now, they are not regarded?
They not, no. They only manage to call you to come and vote during the election. After that, you are discarded. It's like orange fruit. After licking the juice, you throw away the chaff. That's what they do with the African people, African citizens, all of them. I said all of them. I don't know which God created these people in Africa. I don't know. It cannot be the same God that created people in the Western world. I'm not joking. There must be two gods somewhere, two, not one. Because if it's the same God, how come African leaders, African leaders are blessed with evil men who claim to be leaders? Evil. No single regard for what is obtainable in the Western world. They're not even making effort to say, we have all this money. Why can't we use it to better our people, our lives, and make here look like that same London that we travel to go and enjoy? Nobody is thinking along that line, David. Nobody. Rather, that money, they would rather take it and go and keep it in the Western world. Keep it in their banks. And then come back here and tell you and I that there is no money. You should pay tax. Look at our budget. 6.9 trillion naira padded into it by human beings who claim to be doing your will, who claim to better your welfare. 6.something trillion. And you're going to answer to go and borrow money to pad corruption. David, to pad corruption in your budget. You are padding it.
What's the implication of this particular unveiling that you just mentioned now about the Nigerian budget? I did not want you to go there before, but you've come to it.
Hold on. What will you do? You mean what since that happened here? What did you do? No, tell me. When I tell you that you don't matter, you think I'm joking. What will you do? As long as they are the ones up there who are sharing this money, my dear, there is nothing you will do.
There's another election cycle, Barrister. Is there a possibility that the people can have more strength from that election?
Really?
I'm asking you, Barrister.
No, listen very well. Listen. Do you know how the slave trade ended? It was the slaves in Africa started to assert themselves. They started beating their masters, raping their wives, raping their daughters, becoming so bold. The white man got tired and said, look, if we allow this guy, the way they are breeding, they will overpopulate us and kill us. They now said, come, we want to take you back to Africa. Do you want to go or do you want to stay? Some say they are staying, some say they are leaving. Those who wanted to leave, they quickly shipped them back to Africa. And they gave freedom to this other person. So, do you think that if you keep quiet, they will release you from this slavery? No, tell me. Go and check in the Western world. Was it not revolution that set them free from their evil leaders? You think when you fold your arms and talk, things will happen? Let's see how it will happen.
So more like what you are advocating for is more like a civil revolution.
Why not, if not? Because that was what set the Western world free. Russia, America, France, all of them, they went through it. Is that not true? No, tell me I'm lying. After that, the brain set of their leaders reset. But you hear, every Dick and Harry will come and tell you lies, tell you stories, and you will swallow it hook, line, and sinker. When they are coming, they will tell you, don't worry, when we get into office, you will no longer be paying school fees from primary to university. Don't worry, when we enter office, in fact, rice, you don't need to buy it, just go to any store.
Now, Barrister, these kinds of promises, isn't this a reason why the people should, again, ask questions and decide well in the next election?
It has gotten to a point that we don't even know who to trust again. I'm not joking. If what you are seeing now, no, in fact, I predicted it, but I never know it will go this far. I predicted that Tinubu will be worse, but I never thought he will go the way he's going now. I never thought of it. That in the 21st century Nigeria, in a democratic setting, this type of thing will be going on, and Nigerians will just keep quiet. I never thought of it. But was this what he promised us when he was campaigning? The answer is no. David, mention one thing Tinubu promised us that he has fulfilled. Mention just one. 2 years down the line. Eh?
Well, they've asked for more time, Barrister.
Yeah, yes, I know, yes. Yes, it's true. In fact, we need 200 years for him to perform.
And
after 10 years, so remember it's APC to APC. Oh. APC handed over to APC, and Tinubu said we continue where Buhari stopped. So what is the dividend after 10 years? No, what has been benefited from APC after 10 years? Is that not enough for you to ask yourself a question and ask your brain, what am I doing? Is that not enough? Every time promises. Buhari told us, don't worry, this hardship, don't worry, very soon you will enjoy it. 8 years passed. Nothing to show. I was thinking that APC will be telling us that yes, their first president, Buhari, look at what he gave to Nigeria, look at what Nigeria benefited from him. Ali, we can say, okay, if Buhari did something, that means this other one will do something again. Then to make matters worse, he now promised that he will continue where Buhari stopped. And you are waiting for something to come out of it. Eh? Don't look at it yourself. That these people have gone into a room, swore that Nigeria will never make progress under their watch. Is that not what they told you? That Nigeria, look, when something is being shown to you practically, my dear, you'll be asking yourself question that why did I believe these people? Why did I believe? Because you are seeing it. That these people, what they are telling you is not what they are doing. And you are expecting something good to come out of it. It can never be.
Now, Barrister, as it stands, do Nigerians have the guts to change this system in the next election?
Well, it is left for them. Like I've always told them, my own is to tell them the truth. If they lie, let them accept it. If they lie, let them not. But I know that something will give someday. Because humanity is the same. When we get to that critical point, that boiling point, you know that one film they did, is it not a Schwarzenegger, say boiling point. When we get to that critical point, something will give. Maybe that time Nigeria will say, you know a madman. Whenever a madman realizes that he's naked, that day his madness will stop. All over the world, since history, it has been like that. It's just that, like I told you, history does not repeat itself. It is men that repeat history. Out of what? Foolishness. Nothing will happen. We are in power. This and that. I can do whatever. Gaddafi did it in Libya for 42 years. He never thought that anything could happen. He was calling them cockroaches and mosquitoes. Until the people, those cockroaches and mosquitoes, they routed him. He ran into a tunnel. They went there to bring him out. Those cockroaches and mosquitoes. How can you just tell me that in the 21st century Nigeria will be in this sorry mess? Even in Africa, look at all of them. Look at that madman in Uganda. Look at what he's doing. Because he got power. He didn't read the history of Idi Amin, Abi. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, well, Barrister, because of our time, really, this is where we have to draw the curtain on the analysis segment of the African News this beautiful afternoon. We've been talking with Barrister Darlington Agumo, who is a legal practitioner and, of course, Voice of the People TV's in-house political affairs analyst. Barrister, thank you so very much for always being here.
It's my pleasure.
The rest of the African News will continue shortly, just after this quick break. To stay with us. Glad to have you back. You're still watching the African News right here on Voice of the People Television. You would remember just a couple of seconds ago, we did ended the analysis segment of the news. And because of our time, let's just get straight to talking business. Egypt's central bank is expected to lower overnight interest rates by a median of 175 basis points on Thursday, extending a reduction begun in April as inflation remains relatively low. The median forecast of 16 analysts was for the central bank to cut the deposit rate to 23.25% and the lending rate to 24.25%. The central bank last month lowered rates by 225 basis points, its first adjustments since March the 6th, 2024, when it hiked rates by 600 BPS and let the currency slide sharply against the dollar, being measures taken as part of an $88 billion International Monetary Fund financial reforms package. Still talking business, President of the Islamic Development Bank said on Monday that Algeria is expected to receive $3 billion in loans over the next 3 years to support the implementation of key development projects. Bank President Mohammed Sulaiman Al-Jazair told El Nahar TV the funding will be directed towards projects including railway development as part of the president's plan to connect to the country's economic zones. Well, we'll take a quick break right now. When we return, sports will be up next. Do stay with us.